Hello again and welcome back here. Let's start with the ceiling. Let's see how can we create it. First, let's try to see which one of these images could work. Creating the ceiling is something very easy. All what we need to do is just adding plan and try to follow the walls and keep a small distance for the hidden light. That's all. Alright, so let's stick with this image, for example, this one right here. And maybe we can make it even smaller like that. And let's put this here. And maybe we could go to the top and we can put the 3D cursor here on the wall and add plane. And we can move it, for example, right here in the middle if you like. And then just tab and scale this to the x-axis and try to center it. And just leave a small distance, as you can see right here. I will grab these vertices and hit G and move these to the end right here. I know there is a small variation, but we will fix everything. And let's grab these vertices and let's move those over here, almost right here. Just keep a distance here, like that. Maybe we can move it just a little bit more. And then I will hit Ctrl R to add one edge loop here. And I will grab those and then hit E to extrude those here as well. And Ctrl R to add one edge loop right here. And I'm going to extrude these two vertices almost right here. After doing that, now it's a time to fix the variation. Make sure that the distance even. For example, I can grab these and move them close to the wall like that. And grab those over here and hit G and move these close to the wall. Now you can see the distance here. It's almost equal to the distance right here. Even if you have a small variation like 1 centimeter, it's okay. And in case you want to be precise for any reason, if you want to be 100% precise, you can grab the vertices and snap them with the wall, and I will show you what I mean here. For example, let's activate the vertex snap, and for example, I will grab these vertices and then hit G and snap them right here, and I will grab those and snap those here, as you can see. Let's do that for the rest and those as well. All right, and these vertices, let's snap those, and this side as well. All right, that's very cool. And now you can hit A to select everything, and then you can hit I to create a small inset, and you can achieve a perfect result like that. So this is another scenario if you want to be precise. The distance, maybe 15 centimeter. Yeah, 15 looks cool. After that, hit Ctrl I to invert the selection. Sorry, before you invert the selection, let's activate the screencast first. And switch to face, hit 3. And then hit Ctrl I to invert the selection, and then hit X and then F to delete the faces. And now everything makes sense. All right, that's very cool. Now let's go to the side view. I just want to see the ceiling. According to this image, this plane we created, it should reach this area. So I will hit A to select all the faces and then hit G and move these down here. Something like that. And with these faces selected, as you can see, I will extrude them. Just hit E to extrude these a little bit right here. And you can make a small inset as well. One more time. Let's go to the perspective and I will hit I again one more time, something like that, something tiny, and then go back to the right view and extrude this new face like this. All right, now let's take a look. Let's see what we got so far. All right, the result looks cool. Very cool. Let's go back to the right. Let's see what else we could do here. I will hit E again to reach this edge, as you can see is right here. And after that, I will grab all of these faces, as you can see, Alt click to select them all. After selecting these faces, now I will hit Alt E to open the extrude menu, and I will choose extrude faces along normal. And I will push these faces a little bit, and you can control that from the top until these faces reach the walls. And if you have a little bit of overlapping here, it's okay, because we want to block everything. All right, let's check this area. All right, that's very cool. Everything looks nice. Cool. And now I will select these faces from the top like that. And if you like, it's up to you. You can extrude them all the way to the end like that. It's okay to do this. And now we got this results. Looks cool. Sorry. Very cool. All right, now this ceiling, it's need to be beveled. All right, it seems like here we got a problem. All right, let's see what's going on here. The problem is, I think, comes from the extrusion. We should, I will tell you what we should do. You can see the problem that we got right here. I think we forget to activate the even thickness. So let's go back multiple times, hit Control Z multiple times, just to undo what we did here. I just want to make sure that everything is okay. All right, now I will extrude this again, hit Alt E and choose extrude face along the normal. And let's do that again. And here we have offset even. All right, let's go to the top and let's see what this option could do. Now, when you activate this, you will get a correct result. This option will rectify the extrusion. As you can see now, the extrusion is perfect as compared with the previous result. You can see now the corners. And now we can manipulate this again until we get something better. And now we got it. All right, now let's hit slash to go to the local mode. And yeah, I think now it's perfect. After that, you can go back here, go to the wireframe, grab these faces, and you can hit E to extrude them up. And let's exit from the local mode, and now we can snap this face to the surface. G to the Z, Alt Control, and snap it to the corner, and that's it. All right, now we need to bevel it. So let's grab the ceiling and let's go to the modifier and let's add a bevel. Bevel is too much. Let's add 1 centimeter, as I think will be cool. And let's increase the number of the segments, or let's add 0.5 maybe. And grab the ceiling, right click, shade smooth, and in the shading, active harden normal to get better shading. In case you don't like this kind of corners, you can go to the geometry and change the miter outer to arc. All right, this is another scenario in case you care. And let's grab the ceiling and let's hit M. Let's open the collection menu and let's hit new collection and let's give this a name. Let's call this ceiling. All right, now we can hide and unhide this. In case you want to manipulate the results, I mean, if you go to the ceiling and if you tab, In case you want to push these in even further, for example, I want to push these inside a little bit, you can hit Alt S and push these inside like that. And after doing that, just active offset even to get a correct result, and you now you can manipulate it. All right, so you have the option, and you can add these as well to the selection and manipulate them. So just keep that in mind. All right, I think that's it for this video. I will end it here and see you on the next one. Hello again, welcome back here. All right, now let's start with this lighting. I think we can start with these right here, because creating these will be very easy. So let's start with the easiest one. Okay, let's make this small, for example, and let's zoom. See what image we can pick. All right, I think this image will be cool. All right. All right, I will put the 3D cursor here, align it with the ceiling because I want to add an empty. Let's add empty right here. This empty will help me to understand the place that should I stick these lighting on. All right, just to determine the height of the ceiling. And now I can hide the ceiling and depend on this empty. All right, so let's start maybe with the circle. You can start with the cylinder. Let's go here and let's choose a circle, and let's scale it down, make it small like that. You can go to the top, I guess, and we can see if we... All right, the lights are not visible, but that's okay. Let's move the circle right here, and now we can start from this point. I will tap to go to the edit mode, and I will grab these vertices, and I will hit E to extrude these to the Z. Just hit E and then Z, and give this a little bit of height. And don't worry now about the height. Let's go to the right, and let's see if we can see these lights. All right, we can't see them, but it's not a problem. We can guess, or we can eyeball these. So let's hit A to select them all, and let's scale this just a tiny bit and move it down and align it with the height of these lights. Something like that. And don't worry about the height now. After that, you can give this a thickness. Just hit Alt E and choose extrude along the normal, and give this a little bit of extrusion inside or outside if you like. Or something like that. And now I will go to the edge selection mode, and I will hit Alt click, or here maybe, to select all of these edges, and then I will hit P and then S to separate this edge loop, and then tab out. Let's select this new edge loop, tab to focus on it, and then after that you can hit F to create a face like that, and you can hit E to give this a little bit of thickness, and then hit I to give this an inset. And you can move this up just a little bit, and you can scale it like that. All right, something like that. It's very simple to create, actually. Cool. And now I will go to the face selection mode. With this face selected, I will hit Ctrl plus to grow the selection because I want these faces. You can hit Shift D and move these down like that, and move them inside, something like this. You can scale it inside as well, just a tiny bit. All right, let's go to the local mode. I just want to show you what I mean here. And you can hit E to the Z and extrude this to the Z axis like that. You can grab this face with this face in case you want to manipulate the height. That's up to you. And now we got this cone. All right, this will be for the light, in case you want to create a reflection for the light. It's not quite necessary, by the way, but it's up to you. Even this one, you can make it flat if you like, or if you want to create something like a cone, it's okay. And after that, let's give this a bevel. Let's create a bevel. By the way, we can make it flat. G to the Z and snap it here. It's okay. Let's add bevel. And let's add 0.5 maybe. With 2 or 3 segment active harden normal. And right click shade smooth. And I can copy the same bevel to this one. Select this one. The cylinder, hold shift to grab the cap. And copy bevel to select it. Select this one, right click shade smooth. Right now is the time to create this wire. Let's select this tab and let's put the 3D cursor over here. Select this face and then hit Shift S and choose cursor to select it to bring the 3D cursor over here. Tab out and let's add, for example, you can add a circle as well, actually. And you can change the vertices, for example, to 6, I guess. Or maybe we can go beyond that, 10, I guess. And scale it down, make it something very, very small. Okay, and then tab. And then hit F to create a face and E to the Z to extrude this up to the ceiling. All right, to the ceiling, I mean to the empty. So this is the empty we got right here. Just hit G to the Z, hold Control and snap it to the empty, and that's it. So this is the height that we are looking for. All right, and up here we should do something. I just want to show you what I mean. You can see this, I don't know how to call it, but it's like a cup. So we need to create it. So in this case, we can maybe use the cylinder itself, I guess, and make some tweaking. So let's grab the outer faces. Just hit 3 to switch to face selection mode with Alt click to select the entire face loop, and then hit Shift D to take a copy up here. And scale this to the Z, make it small like that. And scale it as well, but scaling working according to the active element. In this case, we can switch this back to median. Scale it like that. And let's move this up. And after that, I will grab these edges, hit F, grab those right here, hit F, and you can bevel this, Control B and bevel it. Like that, I guess. And now I will hit G to the Z and move this down here and align it with this wire, like that. And yeah, that's it. Make it very simple. This wire, grab it, hit right click, shade smooth, make it smooth like that. But all what we need to do now is just adding the light source, and that's it. And maybe we can add this later. All right, now after doing all of that, I guess we can add an empty right here in this area on this circle. Shift S and cursor to select it after you select this face. And now I will add an empty to control this light. Something like that. You can scale it, make it small. And now I will select all of these pieces. Hold Shift to grab this, the empty, hit Control B and set parent to object. And now we can move this. When you move the empty, everything will move with it. All right. After that, now I can select the light like that, deselect the image, and I can duplicate it. So grab the empty as well, don't forget that. And go to the top and let's try to put this in the correct place. By the way, according to this image, we got some variation here. You can see the difference we got, but it is something simple to fix. Just move the light a little bit and put it in the correct position according to the front view, as you can see. I didn't know that this light could be visible from here, but it's okay. And now I can select this cub and tab, hit A to select everything, and you can scale it. But we need to scale it in the correct way. I want to scale it according to the active face. In this scenario, I can grab this and go to the face selection mode and make this face the active one. Just hold Shift to select it and select this again, and change the transform pivot point to the active, and go to the front again and scale this. Now it's become big, and that's what we want here. And according to the cylinder, select the cylinder like that and move it down like this. And grab these upper vertices, move them down as well right here. Hit A to select everything and scale this to the X and Y and ignore Z. Hit S to scale. By the way, you can change this back to medium point. Hit S to scale. Like that. Alright. And then ignore the Z. Hit Shift Z to ignore the Z. And now you can scale it to the X and Y. Alright, and now it's fit to the reference image. And that's what we want. And regarding the cup, just move it down like that. You can tap to go to the edit mode and grab these faces like that and hit G to the Z. You can scale it, manipulate it, it's up to you. Alright, let's scale it a little bit more. Hit G and move it up here, I guess. And for this cone, you can do that again. Just scale it and move it inside a little bit, and this will be it. Maybe you can scale this a little bit more. Alright, something like that. And for the wire, just make it taller, tap to the edit mode, grab the side and move this down. It's okay to go inside, it's not a problem. Alright, now we got the correct size. And now I will select everything and deselect the ground and the image, and now I will duplicate these. You can go to the right, I guess, and you can have a 3 copy, hit Shift D, and let's have one here. Hit Shift R to repeat that again, and yeah, now we got what we want here. Alright, I think that's it for this video. I will end it here and see you in the next one. Hello everyone and welcome back here. In this video I want to create this type of lighting. Let's see how can we create it. Let's see if we can see it in the reference image. It's visible right here, and that's something cool. Now we can understand a little bit about it. So let's go to the right view and let's start from there. First, let's put the 3D cursor in a good place. For example, you can put it right here for now, temporarily. I guess it's okay. And let's add, maybe we can start with the UV sphere. It's okay to do that, and I will scale it down and move it right here. Tap to go to the edit mode, grab half of this, XF to delete half of this sphere. Alright, now hit A to select all of these faces, and let's scale this down. Let's scale it until this match the reference image, and we can move it up here like that, I guess. Maybe we can move it just a little bit like that. And let's go to the perspective. Let's try to put this in the middle, and you can see that from the top. Something like that. It will be okay. Alright, that's very cool. Alright, now we can give this a thickness. Tab, hit A, and then Alt E and choose extrude along the normal, and extrude this inside or outside if you prefer. It's okay. And After that, now I can grab these edges and bevel them, hit Ctrl B to give them a little bit of bevel. 3 edges maybe if you like. And now we can add subdivision surface. You can go to the modifier and add subdivision surface, or you can hit Control 1 to add subdivision surface with level 1 in the viewport. And the render will be 2. It's up to you. For me, I guess 1 will be cool. Right click, shade smooth, and now we got this results. After that, here we have a small cylinder. Let's tap to go to edit mode. Maybe we can use this edge loop because it's perfectly in the center and that's what we want here. So I will grab this and then hit P and then S to separate this. Tab out and let's select this new edge. Tap to go to the edit mode and let's try play with it. Hit E to the Z to extrude this up here. Hit A and then Shift N to recalculate the normal. And Alt E to extrude this inside. Just I want to give it a little bit of thickness, something like that. And grab these edges, Control Alt click to select the edge ring, and then go to the select and go to the edge loop and select edge loop. Select all of these edges like that, and then hit Control B to give them a bevel. Or if you like, you can do that later. It's up to you. Hit A, Shift N to recalculate the normal. So now we got this. You can manipulate that. You can make this taller. Just go to the wireframe, hit 1 to switch to the vertex selection mode. Grab these vertices, make this tall, grab those right here, and move them down just a little bit like that. All right, after that, I will select all of these and then hit Shift D to take a copy right here, maybe. And then hit P and then S to separate this from the group. Tab out and let's focus on this one. Tab to go to the edit mode. Grab these vertices. Maybe here we have small gap. Key to the Z and move those down here. And those right here should be taller. Let's go to the front, I guess. Sorry, to the right, I guess. And let's make a comparison. All what we did here is cool, but it's a little bit bigger. So I will tab out and select those, both of them, and I will scale them down. You can scale those in the edit mode. I think this will be better. Something like that. And let's move these vertices down here. And let's say grab those and let's move those up here. Like that. And according to this image, I guess we can... I think we can grab these faces, just go to the face selection mode, and I guess we can copy them up. So let's go to the front again, to the right, sorry. Hit Shift D to take a copy up here, and you can scale it to the Z like that. And you can scale it a little bit, make it big. Can I grab these vertices and move them up to the ceiling? We can go to the perspective just to see what we got so far. Hit F to create a cup here. Alt click, hit F to create a cup over here. You can bevel this and this. Control B if you like, bevel. All right, now we can go back here to focus on this area. I will grab this, hit Shift D to take a copy up here. Let's try to kill the gap, G to the Z, and let's move this down. Tap to go to the edit mode. Grab these faces right here and move them down to create this small ring. And now all what we need to do is just creating this wire. So in this case, if you want to start with the new circle, that's okay. Hit Shift A and let's add a circle with 10 vertices. Scale this down, make it very small like that. Tap to go to the edit mode. Hit E to the Z and let's extrude this down like that. And grab this, and from the right view, I guess, G to the Z, and let's move this up here until it reach the holder. Hit A to select all of these faces, shift N to recalculate the normal, right click shade smooth, and that's all what we need to do. There is no reason to add a cap here because it's not going to be visible. Right click shade smooth, and this one as well, shade smooth. After that, all what we need to do is just add the light source here, and that's it. Cool. And now you can select all of these details, deselect the ground, deselect this empty, and you can put this in a specific collection. Let's hit M and create a new collection, and let's call this door, maybe lighting, just to recognize it because it's close to the door. And then hit enter twice, and that's it. In case you want to add an empty to control that, that's okay, but I think I'm not going to move it. All right, here we got another light source. Let's see how can we create it. This one is a little bit similar to those we create right here. And I guess we can use those. Just take a one copy. Let's select the cylinder, select this one as well, hit Shift D, and let's take a copy over here. I'm not so quite sure if we can see this. Alright, so now we got the lights in the correct position, and there is another thing we would like to fix the sides. So after that, we can jump to the edit mode, and then we can manipulate the size. Alright, let's go back to the right view. Okay. Maybe we can move it just a little bit to the, sorry. We can move it to the x-axis a tiny bit, like that. And move it close to the wall as well. All right. And now we can make small changes. For example, we can start with this folder and grab the vertices so we can move them up just a little bit like that. And maybe we can use a scale to scale them as well. It's up to you if you want to have a curve here or if you want to be flat. For example, you can grab all of these vertices and then hit F to make it flat, okay? And then you can move this up. And not just that, you can hit A, select all of these faces and scale them down. But scaling, as I guess, yeah, because this small piece linked to this one below it, in this case, we want to separate it. So go to the wireframe, grab all of these vertices, and then hit P and then S to detach this small piece. And now we can control it alone. Now tab out, grab this, tab to go to the edit mode, hit A, and now we can scale it down. All right, the size just makes sense. All what we need to do is just move this up a little bit. And I'm not so quite sure. Maybe we can make it even smaller. Like that, maybe. All right, so this is about the holder. Now we can go to this cylinder and grab all of these pieces and scale them together. Tab A and scale these down like that. All right, maybe we can make the wire a little bit taller, or maybe we should move the light up. Okay. Or something like that, I guess. And now I will grab the wire to make it shorter, and the wireframe, grab these vertices and move them up. And regarding the cap, we can grab it and make it a little bit thicker by grabbing these faces and hit G to the Z. I think that will make it more beautiful in case you want to give this a specific material. And on this side, the scenario is a little bit different here. The light is exposed. It's not hidden. So what we can do is we can take a copy of this piece, just tap, grab all of these faces, hit Shift D and move these down here. And I think that's all what we need to do here. Just move this up here. And maybe we can move this down a little bit. Maybe we can bevel it. It's already have bevel, but I'm not so quite sure if this area should be beveled. Alright, this cone here, I guess we don't need it. So grab it, hit XF and get rid of it. Now let's tab out. And by the way, because this piece will take a different material, I will tap and focus on it, just to grab it like that, and then hit P and then S to detach it or separate it. And that's it. Alright, now after doing all of that, maybe now we can put it in a specific collection, I guess. Alright, just one more thing here I would like to fix. The shading is not cool, especially from here. This area is a little bit darker, so I guess we can go to this face and delete it, hit XF and get rid of it. And then you can go to this side as well, hit X and then XF and get rid of it. And now this tube is hello, as you can see. Cool. Alright, now I will create an empty right here and link all of these pieces to this empty in case we want to move it. Maybe we can grab this circle after you tap to the edit mode and then hit Shift S to bring the 3D cursor down here. Just choose cursor to select it and then tab out, Shift A to add, and now we can add an empty. It's up to you to scale it. You can go to the empty properties and you can change the size from 100 to, for example, 25. That will be cool. And now we can link all of these pieces to this empty. So let's start with this piece. Grab this, hold Shift, add this and this with a wire with the holder, and make the empty as the last object to select, and then hit Ctrl B and choose Set Parent to Object. And for some reason this moved to another place. Alright, hit Ctrl Z to undo that, and then hit Ctrl B again and choose Object, Link Parent to Object, and keep Transform. In this case we can avoid this problem. And yeah, that's very cool. Now all what we need to do is duplicate this. I guess from the top will be better and easier. So hit Shift D to have a copy right here. Alright, that's cool. And Shift D again to have another copy right here. And that's very much it. Alright, I think that's it for this video. I will end it here and see you in the next one. Hello again and welcome back here. In this video I want to focus on these type of lights. Let's see how can we create them. Let's put the 3D cursor on the wall right here, anywhere you like. And let's go to the right view, go to wireframe, and let's add, for example, a UV sphere. Scale the UV sphere down and move it right here and align it with the reference image. Hit G to move it a little bit right here. Hit S to scale it. And that's it from this side. You can go to the front and move it to align it from the front as well. That's very cool. Alright, so this is the first step. After that, we can take this edge loop and use it. Let's go to the perspective and tap to go to the edit mode. Go to the X selection mode, hit 2, alt click on this edge loop and then hit P and then S to separate this out. Tab out, and now let's grab this edge loop and tab to go to the edit mode so we can control it and change it. Hit A to select all of these vertices, and now I will hit F to create a face. Now if you hit G, you can see it's filled. I will hit E to extrude this up here like that. And now with this edge loop selected with this one, Alt click, Alt Shift click, Control with B to bevel it, and let's bevel this to 4, for example. And let's have something curvy like that. According to the reference image, you can see. Alright, now I will select this face and bring the 3D cursor over here so we can creating this arm. And Shift A to add, and let's add a circle, and you can manipulate the size and the radius. You can add 2 here to change the radius. And now I will tab, and maybe we can make this a little bit smaller like that, and then hit E to the Z. Sorry, tap to the edit mode. What's going on here? Grab the circle, tap to the edit mode. Okay. And with these vertices selected, hit E to the Z to extrude this up. You can go to the right just to see the size, if the size makes sense or not. Maybe we could scale it a little bit down. And I will grab these, hit G to the Z, almost right here. Alright, now I will extrude these, hit E, and then S to extrude and scale, and E to the Z as well. And you can go back here to determine the height that should reach this area like that. And I guess it should be a little bit thicker. Scale it, but ignore the X and ignore the Z, sorry. In this case, what we can do is we can go to the face selection mode and select these faces, as you can see, and hit S and Shift Z and make it a little bit thicker like that. Grab this edge loop like this. After you switch to the edge selection mode, hit 2 and then hit F to fill this. Alright, with this edge loop selected, I will add those here, Alt Shift click, and then I will bevel them. Hit Control B to bevel them, and let's bevel them like that. Something like this, 4 edges, about 1.31 centimeter. Alright, that's not enough. I will hit Control R to add one edge loop right here, and I will bevel it, Control B, to 2, because I want to support the both sides. I just added an extra edge loop here for this area to be supported in case you want to add subdivision surface and you want this curvature here be a good, not straight. And for this area, you can grab this edge loop and you can hit right click and you can choose edge crease if you like, or you can bevel it as well, Control B, and add 3 cuts. Alright, that's very cool. Now I will hit A and then Shift N to recalculate the normal, and then I will tap, right click, hit smooth. It's up to you if you want to add subdivision surface for this piece, it's okay. And now we need to create the wire. And before I create the wire, I will tab here because I want to grab this face loop and hit Shift D to the Z and move this up here. Alright, to the ceiling here, and scale it to be big like that. And then I will hit E to extrude it down here like this. And now let's go to the perspective. Hit A, Shift N to recalculate the normal. Grab this edge loop, Alt Shift click, grab this side, Control with B to bevel them like that, and this will be it. Alright, and now I will grab this face, Shift S, and choose cursor to select it to bring the 3D cursor over here. And now I will add a circle, something like that. Maybe we can scale it a little bit. Tab, grab these vertices, E to the Z, and extrude those down. And let's move this down here like that. Alright, as you can see, it's a little bit thick. Hit A to select all the vertices and scale this and cancel the Z axis for the scaling. Hit S and then Shift Z, and let's scale this to the X and Y to make it thinner like that. And yeah, that's very cool. Now I will grab this and right click here to smooth it, and this one as well, and the wire as well. In case you want to increase the smoothness of the sphere, just grab it and add subdivision surface. You can add it from here. You can add it from here, or you can hit Control 1 to add subdivision surface with level 1, like that. All right, now after that, let's go to the top. Z to go to wireframe, grab these pieces, deselect the plane or the reference image, and now we can duplicate it. Go to the right. All right, I will hit Shift D to have a copy here, and Shift D again to have another copy right here. I will go to the top so I can grab them all again like that. Deselect the empties, focus on them, and you can give them a name and put them inside a specific collection if you prefer. It's up to you. Hit M to open the collection menu, hit new, and let's call this. All right, and then hit enter, and yeah, that's it. Very cool. If you want to add an empty to move them, to control them, it's okay to do that. And let's see what else we can do. I think that's it for this video. There is no reason to do anything else right now. We will complete in the next videos. See you next. Hello again, and welcome back here. In this video, I want to create this box. This one right here. All right, this box, you can consider it as a mechanism to control the curtains. And it's very simple to create, actually. After creating this, we could make some tweaking to the roof, grabbing the vertices and move them back just a little bit. This will be something easy to do. So let's see how can we do that. I will put this image right here. And by the way, this box, it should go start from this point and ends here. All right, something like that. Let's put the 3D cursor over there, and I will hit Shift A to add, and I will add a cube. Can scale it a little bit and tap to go to the edit mode. Okay, and I will hit G to move this, for example, right here. I'm not so quite sure if there's any information showing us how to create it. Actually, we have some information right here, and that's very cool. I will hit G to move this right here, grab these vertices and align them with this line, as you can see here, and maybe grabbing these and move them up. It's okay to do that, and grabbing those vertices, move them back like that. And now let's add one edge loop. All right, for example, one right here. Control R to add another edge loop, one here as well, and let's add two edge loops right here. Alt click to focus on this one, and I will move it here. Alt click to move this one here, and now I will grab these two vertices and move them back like that. All right, that's very cool. Now let's go to the perspective. Let's see what's happening here. I will hit Z and I will grab these vertices and I will move them and hold Control and snap them with this vertex. Make sure to switch the vertex to the snap to the vertex snap. And maybe I can grab those and move them to the other side. And before we do that, I will hit E to extrude this, maybe, and block this area by extruding this like that. And let's see if that works or not. I will grab these and move them all the way to the end. Close to this panel. And here in this area, you can grab these faces like that. and make an inset. I will hit I to create an inset like that. And all right, that's very cool. I will hit I again to create another inset, just a little bit, and then hit Alt S to push this back inside like that. Or I guess there's no reason to create another inset. Just hit E to extrude this inside, and that will be it. All right, and now I will use this face. I will hit Shift D to take a copy like that. And you can leave it in the same place if you like. Hit right click to leave it in the same place. And then hit P and then S to separate this out. Tab out from the original object, and now let's pick this new one. If you couldn't pick it, put the mouse and don't move it, and click again and again until you pick it. And now with this one selected, tap to jump to the edit mode, and I will delete these edges because actually we don't need them. Go to the edge selection mode and grab these edges like that. Hit Ctrl X to dissolve them. And now as you can see, now we got this result. I can move this just a tiny bit to avoid this overlapping. And I will hit Ctrl R to add multiple cuts. Just rotate the wheel just a little bit and you can add multiple cuts. It's up to you. All right, if you want to add, let's add, for example, 15, I guess. And with these selected, I will hit Ctrl B to bevel them just a little bit like that. And then hit XF to delete these faces. Now I will hit A to select all of these individual faces, and I will hit E to extrude them out like that. And after that, you can give them a bevel. I guess we should, or we can move them back just a little bit like that, and that will work. All right, with this selected, go to the modifier, generate, add bevel. All right. Let's try to add 1 centimeter, I think, with multiple cuts. Right-click shade smooth and active harden normal to get better shading smooth. And now it's done. All right, and after that, let's go back to the ceiling. I just want to see now what's happening here. You can go inside. Sorry. Like this. All right, and now let's try to find a way to avoid this overlapping. Grab the ceiling from the top. You can go to the top and tap to go to the edit mode. And now let's select these vertices, all of them, and now we can move them like that. Let's take a look. Let's see what we got so far. Something like that, I guess. All right, I think we can make some tweaking here, like grabbing these two faces and move them up a little bit more like that and snap them here, I guess. And now I can grab this and snap it as well. I will move it and I will grab this vertex and move it. So when you hit G to the X, hit B to active point-to-point snap, and grab this point and snap it with this one. And let's see if that works. Let's go inside like that. And let's see what we got. All right, the result is beautiful. Looks nice. I like it. All right. As you can see, according to this image, here we have some variation. It's up to you to control the window. You can see here the situation, it's a little bit different. And we can handle that. We can control it. Let's try to add another cover here for the curtain right here. Okay. And it will be simple to do. All right, what I'm going to do is I will grab these two pieces and to go to the edit mode, and all what I should do here is just grabbing these and maybe move them just a little bit like that. I just want to have some space here. And after that, I will tab out and add, for example, another cube, and you can scale it, make it small like that. Control A, apply the scale. And let's move this just a little bit like this for now. Tap to go to the edit mode, and now let's start controlling this. For example, this face, I can grab it and move it like that. All the way to the end here. And I can grab this face, move it to the Z like that. All right, and this side as well, I guess. And snap it right there at the corner. Cool. All right, and now I will hit Control R to add one edge loop, something like that. You can leave it in the middle actually. And you can grab those and move them up just a little bit, and grab one of these faces, hit E and extrude it down. You can snap it right here. It's okay to do that, but if you do that, you can make the window a little bit shorter, or you can leave it like this. It's up to you actually. If you want to make it a little bit shorter, that will work and it will be easy. Even the window, we can control them, and the frame, everything, it's simple. So on this side, we need to have the same scenario. I can use mirror modifier to create this side, but for now, let's focus on this face. According to this image, we should move it a little bit more down. So I will grab it and move it down just a tiny bit like that. And I think the result is a little bit thick. We can make it thinner like that. Okay. And I guess now we can go to this piece, tab, and grab the side and move it back like this. And the ceiling as well, we can manipulate it just a little bit. Like, let's go to the Z and let's grab all of these vertices, and I guess we should ignore those, hold Control and deselect them. Those over here as well, and let's move this back a little bit. All right, something like that. That's very cool. All right, now I will select this and I will give it a mirror modifier. But let's go to the local mode and let's go to the modifier, and I will add mirror modifier. And I will add empty right here, hit Shift A, and let's add an empty. So we can control the mirror using the empty. Here you can see mirror object. I will use this empty right here. And now when I rotate the empty, I can control the mirror like that, as you can see here. All right, let's rotate this 90 degrees, and let's go back to the mirror and let's active bisect. And now we got this result, as you can see. All what we need to do now is just controlling this empty. Let's slash to Excite and let's take a look and let's see what we got. The result so far looks nice, but we just need to move this just a little bit, the empty. As you can see now, we can move it and put it in the correct place. All right, that's very cool. All right, now if you are satisfied with the result, you can go to the modifier and hit Control A to apply it. And now I can tab to go to the vertices, and I will grab these vertices and move them back. And just put them in the correct place. For example, right here. And you can block this area. All right. Okay, now you can hit Control R to add one edge loop. And you can hit E to align it with this side or that side. I mean, to align it with this side to be straight, or with this side and it will be diagonal. So just keep that in mind. And let's move this, for example, right here, and hit select to go to the local mode, because here we could do something. I will grab these faces, hit X, F, and get rid of them. And now I will grab this with this, hit E to the Z, and hold Control and snap them here. And now grab this face, hit F and F again. After that, I want to hold all of these, hit A and then M and merge by distance. And now these vertices merged. That's very cool. And now I will tap to control the ceiling again, and all what we need to do is just grabbing these vertices that we got right here and move them back, and that will be it. All right, the scenario that we got right here, it's a little bit different as compared with this image. I know that because I assumed here in this course that we have a window in this area. But when I created this interior scene, I didn't use a window here. That's why. All right, and now let's take a look. All right, from here, I guess we can select this face. I guess we can add an edge loop right here. Something like that. And I can grab this with this and hit E and block this area. All right, and as I said for the windows, if you don't like this scenario, you can make it short a little bit. It's up to you. All right, let's bring back the windows. I just want to show you how you can do that. All what you need to do is just selecting these pieces, all of them, the frame, and those as well. And those right here. Let's move them. I just want to make sure that I select everything. This side as well. After that, select the structure, tap to go to the edit mode. And now to move these, just focus on the vertices and they grab the vertices and move them down. For example, you can grab these like that. All right, deselect this corner. We don't need to include it. And you can see what I'm doing right now. After selecting all of these vertices, now you can move them down normally. For example, I can grab them like that and move them without any problem. But it is up to you. As I said, you can ignore that, or if you like to do it, it's okay. It's up to you. It's not a problem. And for the variation that happens right here, it's simple to fix as well. Easy, go to the wireframe and select these vertices like that, and you can move them just a little bit down like that, and that will be it. Tab out, and there we go. For any reason, if you don't like this, what was going on here, I mean this corner, you can hide it. What you can do is you can select this and move it just a little bit to the X, hit G to the X and move it like that, and align it with the corner like this. And what you can do is you can put the 3D cursor, for example, right here, all right, like that, and you can switch the transform to the 3D cursor, and you can scale this to the X and just make it wider. So this is the way to hide this corner if you don't like it. And yeah, I think that's it for this video. Before I end this video, I think we got a problem right here. Yep, I just need to move these vertices back and align them with this one like that, and that's it. Yeah, cool. I will end this video here and see you in the next one. Hello again and welcome back here. As you know, we are not finished here. There's a lot of things to create. In this video, I want to create this chair. I don't think we're going to create the sofa because I can download it from a Blender kit. But in case you are interested how to model this chair, we're going to model it together. All right, so let's put the image right here. And or before we do that, I just want to see what thing I can hide here. Let's take this out just temporarily because I want to select those and move them in the ceiling collection. And let's go to the windows and hide them. And what else we got right here? All right. Maybe we can hide the lights. Yep, I think that's it. Okay, so how can we model this? Let's go to the top, and I just want to see the reference image. All right, now we can understand the size, the dimensions of this chair, and let's try to understand how this could be created. All right, maybe we can put the 3D cursor on the ground and we go to the right, for example, and we can add a plane. I guess we can start with the plane. So, okay, and I will align this to the view so we can see it. And let's move this up here, and let's go to the his Z to switch the view to wireframe, and I will scale this just a little bit and align it with the chair like that. You can tap to go to the edit mode, and you can grab these vertices and just move them down and align them like that. All right, something like this temporarily. Because it's rotated, I can't move these vertices and align it with the legs here because that's not make sense. But you can create something close to what we can see here, and that's what I'm trying to do. All right, so now the plane is matched the size of the chair. Now we can go from this point. So the first thing that I want to start with is creating this beam. And you can see here we have a small curvature. So let's see how can we do that. I will grab these two vertices and I will hit Ctrl Shift B to bevel them. And let's give them a small bevel with multiple vertices like that, as you can see. And that will be it. All right. After that, we can grab the edge loop and we can hit P and S to separate this edge because I want this edge. I want to start from here. And then I will hit Shift D to take a copy of this edge to this side, and maybe we can go to the top view just to understand if this distance makes sense. Let's move this like that, and you can rotate this temporarily just to see. All right, we need to move it a little bit. So I will grab this and hit G and move it just a little bit, and now I can grab them together and rotate them. Sorry, don't select the image. All right, now the size, it's matches the chair. That's cool. So this is the first step. I think we should, all right, I will delete this. Let's go back to the top and let's see if that makes sense. All right, that's too much, sorry. Let's take off this and let's move this just a little bit like that and select those together and align them. All right, that's too much. Maybe a little bit more, we can move it. What I can do is I can select the image and go, did we create a collection for the images? All right, we didn't. So quickly, I will select these images and then I will hit M and create a collection for them. Hit enter twice and then I can make them unselectable like that. Now we can go to the top. All right, now I will rotate this and yeah, now it's close to the size of the chair. All right, so this is the first step. After that, we can give this a thickness. Let's try to understand the idea. Right, maybe we can use, let's see which image we can count on. All right, the idea is very simple. So I will grab this and this wire, all right, and I will hit Control J to make them one piece, and right click to convert these to a curve. And now we can go to the curve properties and increase the thickness, something like that. Or maybe we can add 2 or 1.5 if you like. All right, after that, we can create a cylinder. All right, so let's put the 3D cursor maybe between here, between these vertices, grab these vertices in the edit mode, and then hit Shift S and choose cursor to select it. And now I will hit Shift A to add, and I will add a cylinder. And let's manipulate the size, make it small like that. And for the vertices, you can keep them 32, it's okay. And maybe we can rotate this to the Y 90 degree and scale it like that, I guess. This beam and this beam represent the side of the curve. That's mean if this is the side, we should copy this cylinder and put one here and one there. But before we do that, let's make sure that the thickness of the cylinder is correct. Right, let's reduce the length a little bit and let's make it thicker by scaling this to the I don't know, to the Z and Y, I guess. Or there's another scenario if you like. If you tap to go to the edit mode, you can grab these faces, alt click, and then hit, sorry, you can hit alt S to inflate this just a little bit, something like that, maybe a little bit more. All right, so that's very cool. And now maybe we can add some cups here, like grabbing the side and use it. So I will hit Shift D to take a copy, right click to leave it in the same place, and separate it with P and then S. And now I will grab this small circle and I will hit E to extrude it like that, I guess. And then I will hit Control B to bevel it. All right, bevel, as you can see, is not working correctly because of the scale, I guess. Select those both, or this one, Control A, apply scale, and this one as well, Control A and apply the scale. And now let's try out again. All right, now it's working. Or something like that. I guess it will work. All right, and maybe we can bevel this edge loop as well. Control B, and let's bevel them to 3 edges like that. And this side as well, let's grab these edges, Control B, and let's bevel them as well. And now I will select this and copy it on the other side, hit Shift D, and let's take a copy right here. And let's put the origin dot in the position of this piece. Right click origin to the geometry. And now I can mirror it on the other side. Let's put this image right here and let's go to the object and mirror to the, I don't know, let's see the axis to the x-axis. Cool. And I should move it just a little bit and align it. You can go to the top if you like and zoom in and move the just a little bit like that. Cool. That's very cool. All right, and now I will grab this piece with this piece and maybe this piece and hit Control J to make them one piece. Okay. All right. And I think now we can use them. I will hit Shift D to take a copy right here and hit R to the Z to rotate this 90 degree. And I'm going to use it. So this is the back of the chair and this is the side. I will move this one right here, for example, go to the top and let's see if this in the middle or not. All right, let's move it just a little bit and align it. Maybe we can move it just a little bit like that. And let's hit Shift D to take another copy here. And let's try to put it in the middle as well like this. And for this one, it should be above it, I guess. Very cool. According to the image, as you can see. and maybe another one, it should be maybe right here. I don't know if we can see that. Yeah, we can determine the height. It should be moved a little bit down here. All right, that's very cool. All right, and I guess we should have another one right here as well. And we should have a beam goes from this point to this point, and one for that side goes to that point. All right, let's see how can we do that. I guess we can tab and select this edge and use it. Let's hit Shift D, take a copy, and I will rotate this to the Y, I guess. Rotate this 90 degree and rotate this to the Z 90 degree like that. And let's put this in the correct position. G, and let's move it right here. Let's grab this vertex and move this down just a little bit. And this one as well. All right, and let's grab this vertex with this one and let's move this down, G to the Z. All right, and maybe now we can copy it right here. Right, that's very cool. All right, that's very cool. All right, after that, let's try to create this piece of leather. I guess we can create in the middle. So let's add cube in the middle, scale the cube, make it small like that. G to the Z, and let's move this down here. Can scale it a little bit like this, a little bit like that, and let's try to put this in the correct position. G to the Z, and let's move this down here. All right, let's tap to go to the edit mode, and let's grab this face, and let's move this a little bit like that. And let's grab this side with this side, and let's scale them like that. Tab, Control A, apply the scale, and now tab to go to the edit mode, and let's try to add multiple cuts here. And multiple cuts right here as well. And maybe one cut or two right here. Let's grab these edges like that. And those down here. Maybe we can scale them a little bit. All right. That's very cool. And I will add one edge loop right here in the middle, and I'm going to bevel it, hit Control B to bevel this to two edges like that. And now I will select this edge loop and this one, and then I will re-bevel them, hit Control B again, and let's have three edges like that. And now I will select this edge loop in the middle, and this one as well, and I will hit Alt S to push these inside. You can, I think that's too much. You can go to the wireframe just to see what's going on. Hit Alt S and push this inside just a little bit like that. And now maybe we can grab all of these edges and re-bevel them. Control B, and let's give them, I guess, two edges. I think that will work. And now let's see what's going to happen if we add subdivision surface with level 1. Control 1, you can type. All right, maybe we can increase this to 2. All right, the result looks cool. Maybe we can add one edge here and maybe one right here, I guess. All right, I think we can switch to another. We can switch to another mode, to the sculpt mode, for example, and we can expand this. Just to click, put the mouse right here, and click and drag just to have two rows here. And here we have mesh filter and the cloth filter. Let's try to use the mesh filter. Just activate this brush right here, and when you do that, here we have multiple filters. Here we have the, for example, the inflates. If you click and drag, you can make this a little bit thicker, as you can see the results. All right. It's depend on the mouse. If you move this to the left, it will give you a result, and vice versa. If you take this to the right, it will give you another result. So yeah, you can use this technique just to click and drag a little bit. All right, the problem is when we do that, we are dealing with the low poly mesh, this one. And if I want to get a better results, it's better to apply the subdivision surface. So let's hit Control A to apply it, and now let's try again. But what we can do is, I guess, I will hit Control Z multiple times, and let's accept subdivision level 1. All right, and now I will switch back to Sculpt and try that again. Right, something like that. And now I can add another subdivision surface just to make it smoother. But I guess it's better to put it in the, you can choose it from here. If you hit Control 1, as I did right now in the sculpt mode, it will give you another type of subdivision surface. So let's go here and add this one. And we can apply it as well. Right. And here we have multiple options, by the way. We have relax. If you want to relax this a little bit, let's see if that can give us another result, better result. Or that's not going to work, by the way, but you can try these. Here we have this smooth option. It's very nice. Sometimes it's useful, but it's not always. And we have another brush. It's called cloth filter. We can use it as well if you select it. And sorry, not this one. I mean this one right here, cloth. You can use it just to add some wrinkles if you like. You can see here we have some distortion happen. All right, so just click and drag, and here we have multiple options in case you want to change, for example, the, let's see what we have here, the deformation. You can choose drag, for example, and click and drag just to add some wrinkles here, but don't go too crazy. Just small touches. I just want to create some variation. Make sure to make the brush big. You can hit F to control the size of the brush, make it small or big. Right. Let's add some wrinkles here, for example. If you hold Shift and click, you can smooth out the result. And let's go back to object mode, right click, shade smooth. Let's see the result in the shade smooth. All right, looks cool. Hit G to the Z and let's move this down. Okay. All right, now I will select this one and hit Shift D to the Z, and I will have another cube right here. And rotate this to the X, R to the X, and rotate this 90 degree like that. And I will move it back like this. And maybe we can rotate this just a little bit to the X. Just give it a small angle like this. All right, and I will move this back like that. S to the Z, just to make it shorter. And let's move this down. Or something like this, I guess. And now we can take this piece to the sculpt mode as well, just to make some deformation, like using the grab brush. Grab brush will help us to click and drag and move these vertices. But I think we should make the brush a little bit bigger so we can make some kinks here, like adding some curvature here in this area, like that. Right, maybe taking these as well, this one as well. Right, let's move this a bit from this uh, cylinder, and maybe the other side as well. We have some overlapping. Let's try to avoid it with the grab brush. That's very cool. And on this side, I guess we can move this back. But everything looks cool. Maybe here as well, we can move these back, but not too much. Let's see what we got right here. On this side, maybe we can grab this piece and move it like that. All right, the result looks nice. Looks beautiful. All right, let's hold tab and go to the object mode, or you can switch from here and let's select this piece and let's go to the sculpt mode, and I'm going to use the brush tool just to make some variation right here, like moving this down, assuming because of the usage this area is squeezed a little bit. But maybe we can move those up a bit. You can smooth it out if you like. Maybe this piece I can move it out, move it away from this beam. Can zoom in and focus on this small area like that. Right. Let's see what else we can do here. That's very cool. Let's move these vertices down just a little bit. All right, looks cool. I like it. And looks realistic as well. And now let's go back to the object mode. And what else? Let's select this piece, right click, shade smooth. All right, I think we forget to bevel this area. Yeah. Oh my God, I forget to bevel this. Control B and let's bevel this area as well with 3 vertices, and I think we should do the same thing for all of these pieces. Control B and let's bevel this just a little bit, and this one I guess, or this side. No, this side is beveled, but this side is not beveled, I guess. Yeah. Control B and let's bevel the just a little bit. And this one as well, I guess. This area is not beveled. Control B. Let's bevel it a little bit. And this one as well. Control B and let's bevel it. And now let's give this shade smooth and let's check the smoothness. Right, this piece as well, and that one. All right, and now maybe we can convert this to a mesh again and give it shading smooth. All right, let's see if we missed anything here. Here we have small pieces. I think we could create them. Let's tab and let's select these edges, and I will hit Shift A to add in the object mode, and let's add a cube. Make it, sorry, I forget something. After selecting these edges, bring the 3D cursor over here. Cursor to selected to create a cube right here. Shift A now to add in the object mode, and let's add cube. And let's make this, for example, 2 centimeter. And let's move this, for example, right here for now, and scale it just a little bit. All right. Let's select this small piece with this beam, and let's go to the local mode. And let's move this down just a little bit like that. And let's tab, and I guess we can grab this edge with this one and just scale them like this. All right, and now maybe we can make trim this area. I will select these faces like that just to use them. I will hit Shift D to take a copy and scale this copy like that, make it small, and I want to use this as a cutter. All right, now I will cap this area, hit F, alt click on this area, hit F, and let's select all of these faces like that, and then detach them, hit P and then S. All right, and now this piece is separated. I will move it here. All right, I will move these out just to help you to understand what's going on here. What I want to do is I want to cut this piece using this one. So I'm going to use the bool tool. Let's open this menu and let's go to the edit. So select the cutter, hold Shift to grab the piece, and then choose difference. And now we got this cut, as you can see here. And after that, tab, and let's try to see what change we can do here before we go any further. For example, this edge and this edge are very close to each other, and now when you add bevel is not going to work or give you a correct result. That's why I'm going to delete these edges. Hit Ctrl X to dissolve them. And now we got something very cool. After that, now we can give this a bevel. Let's search for bevel, and let's make the amount small here, like 1 centimeter. That's too much. 0.5, 0.1. Multiple cuts here. Ctrl A, apply scale. All right. The corner here, it's a little bit sharp. That's why you can see bevel targeting this area. So in this case, we can increase the angle just a little bit to get rid of that, because I don't want bevel to target these edges here. You can see before and after. All right, the result so far looks cool. Right click, shade smooth, and here auto smooth. And I think that's it. You can move this back and put it in place. And you can duplicate it. You can duplicate it in the edit mode if you prefer. Apply bevel, we don't need it. Tab, hit A, select all the faces. Have a copy here. Select them all, have a copy on the other side. You can go to one of these views just to put this in place. G, and let's move this, for example, right here. And I think that will be it. Very cool. Tab out. All right. Hit slash to exit, and now let's select all of these pieces together. Let's move the whole chair. Everything is linked. All right, now maybe we can add an empty so we can control it, but I want to put the empty in the correct place. I will select these 4 faces. All right, this one and this one right here, and this one, and then hit Shift S cursor to select it to bring the 3D cursor in the middle. Tab out, and now let's add another empty. Let's scale it just a little bit, and now I will link everything to this empty. Control B, set parent, and keep transform. One more thing here I would like to do. Select these pieces. Tab, hit A, Shift, and to recalculate the normal. So this is how to create this here. And now you can exit, and you can grab the empty and move this up just a little bit to put it on the ground. All right, that's very cool. And now you can copy it. Okay, All right, let's hit M and to open the collection menu, and let's hit new to create a new collection. Let's call this, for example, chair. Maybe we can add word wood just to recognize it. Or at least type wood chair, and now we have a collection for this chair. That's very cool. And now all what we want to do is just copy this and put it in place. All right. I think that's it for this video. I will end it here and see you in the next one. Hello again, welcome back here. In this video, we will create this small chair together. Let's see how can we do it. All right. I will depend on the reference image that I got right here, that I can see it in the front. So let's go to the front, and it's easy to go to wireframe, and here we can see it. Let's put the 3D cursor in the correct place, and I think it's actually in a good place. So let's go back to front, and let's start with the cylinder. Let's add a cylinder. The cylinder is very small, as you can see. I will change the side vertices to maybe 16, I guess. It will be okay. And I think we can move it right here. It's very small, as you can see. It's right here. Scale it just a little bit like that, and move this up here and match it with the size of this chair. Can scale this a little bit more, and let's put it on the ground. And I think now the size is matched, or something like that. So this is what we got so far. Control A, apply the scale. Tap to go to the edit mode, and maybe here we can add 2 cuts or maybe 3 cuts, I guess. Alt click on this edge loop, Alt shift click on this one, and scale these, and cancel the Z axis, hit shift C to scale these on the X and Y. Let's go to the front, and I just want to check the curvature after doing that. All right, and now I will grab this edge loop and then hit S to scale it, just to have this round result. All right, that's very cool. I think we can go to the local mode, and now I will grab this face and this face, I guess, and I will hit I to create an inset like that. All right, and then I will hit XF to delete these 2 faces, as you can see here. Let's go to the edge, Alt click to select this edge loop, and go to the face and choose grid fill to fill this with the grid. And you can go to the top and manipulate the offset and the span just to get better result. You can rotate it like that using the offset. Alt click on this edge loop as well, and go to the face and the grid fill. Go to the top again, and let's try to rotate this guys a little bit like that. All right, that's very cool. Nice. After that, let's give this subdivision surface. I just want to see the result. Hit Control 1. All right, the result looks cool. Yeah, very nice. I like it. Now I guess we can grab these edges, as you can see right here. All right, and we can make some changes. All right, I guess we can add these as well, or maybe we can create another edge right here. I'm not so quite sure, to be honest. I guess we can bevel those first, just to have an extra edge. The 3 is not going to work. So yeah, I guess we can grab those edges right here. Sorry, not this one, those here. And use them. And on this side, I guess we can select this one. Deselect these edges. I think we shouldn't include them like that. And I will hit Control B to bevel all of these, and let's add one edge here in the middle, as you can see here. I just added 3 and then hit Control minus to shrink the selection to focus on these edges in the middle, and then hit Alt S to push these deep inside. Tab out, and now we got this. All right. We shouldn't select these edges here actually, but all right, I will undo all of that because accidentally I choose these edges. I will deselect them like that. I don't want to include them. And let's do that again. Hit Control with B and let's bevel these like that. Small bevel, Control minus, and then Alt S and push these deep inside like that. And let's increase the subdivision surface to 2 to get even smoother result. Right click Shade Smooth. If you want to go to sculpt mode, just to add some touch, like you can go to the mesh filter and use inflate. You can try that and manipulate this just to see what you will get. You can keep adding some effects on this. It's up to you actually if you want to make some variation here, some wrinkles. All right, I think this area I can move it up just a little bit using the grab, or maybe I can use the inflate brush. I will hit F and move the mouse just a little bit to make this a little bit bigger. Let's try to click and drag on this area. That's too much actually. Let's try grab. I will click and drag this up. Maybe we can make the brush big. Right. Maybe a little bit smaller. It's better to apply subdivision surface to control this better, because now we are controlling the low poly, the low poly mesh. So I will hit Control A, and now I applied the modifier, and now I have a lot of vertices to work with. Now I can use this. Even for the inflate, even for the mesh filter now will give us another results. All right, but I think it's not necessary to use this brush. Let's stick with this one, and now let's grab this and move this up just a little bit. I guess we can smooth this area, hold Shift and smooth it. All what I want here, I just want to make some variation here, and that's it. All right, let's go back to object mode and hit slash to excite. And now let's see what's the next step. All right, let's go to the top and let's put the 3D cursor over here. All right, Shift A and let's add a circle. The circle is very big. I will change the vertices count to maybe 16 and scale it. And I guess we can put it right here. I will scale it just a little bit like that. And I will tab and I will delete half of this. I will grab these vertices and then hit X and then V to, X, V to delete these vertices, and this one as well, X, V. All right, and let's make a comparison. Let's see if what I'm doing is correct or not. Actually, I can't because I can't see it from the top. But according to these images, it's half circle. Let's try to see another image. Maybe we can delete these two vertices as well. And now we ended with this. After that, I will hit A, select all of these vertices, and I will hit E to the Z to extrude this up. Yes, a little bit like that. And maybe now we can give it a thickness. Hit A, select everything, and go to the face and choose Solidify Face. And let's increase this just a little bit inside or outside. All right, now we got this. Hit A, Shift N to recalculate the normal. And let's start from here. I will hit Control R to add multiple cuts here. And I will hit Alt S to push these outside just a little bit. All right. And maybe we can grab these vertices. And let's see if that will work. I will hit Alt S just to relax them a little bit. And maybe this area, grab these vertices as well. Hit Alt S, sorry. Grab this edge loop, Alt click, Alt S to push this out just a little bit. And maybe those as well. Alt click, Alt Shift click, and then Alt S. All right, now let's give this subdivision surface. Hit Control 1 to add subdivision surface with level 1. And I think we can apply it. Hit Control A to apply it. And now we can tweak it further. I can go back to the sculpt mode and use one of these brushes. For example, I can use mesh filter. All right, the filter type is inflate. I want to deflate this a little bit just to make it thinner. Something like this, I guess. All right, now we can go back to the object mode, and I guess we can scale this just a little bit to the Z, but not too much. Hit G to the Z, and let's move this down a little bit like that. And let's make a comparison. Let's see what we got. I'm not so quite sure if this should be right here, or maybe we should move it back a little bit. All right, the result so far looks nice. Cool. I will tap to go to the edit mode, and I just want to add 2 edges here. And let's see if we have a wire in the middle. It's a little bit difficult to understand what's going on here. I think we have a wire right here goes around it. I'm not so quite sure, but I will assume that we have. So this edge in the middle, I will leave this one and this one, and I will pick this one. All right. And I will do the same thing for this side. I will leave this, and I will pick this one. Hit Alt Shift click to grab this. And I will pick these edges as well. Let's go to the X selection mode, and I will select those right here. And after that, I will hit Control with B to bevel them. Bevel them like that. Add 3 edges, and then hit Control minus to shrink the selection. Hit Alt S to push this deep inside. And then hit Control plus to grow the selection again. And then switch to the face selection mode, hit 3. And now I will select the outer edges. Go to the select and select loop and choose boundary loop. As you can see now, I'm focusing on the outer edges. After that, you can give them a small bevel just to make this area tight. You can add 2 if you like. 2 edges right here, it will be enough. And now I will shade smooth this and hit Control 1 to add subdivision surface with level 1. And now we got this result. If you want this area to be tight, you can add 1 edge loop right here and 1 right here as well. Control R again, and let's add 1 right here and 1 right here. And for this side, you can do the same. 1 here and 1 right here. And I'm not so quite sure, but I think we can try inflate again. Let's see what's going to happen. I will go back to the sculpt and active the mesh filter, and I will choose inflate, and I just want to inflate this just a little bit. You can see the result before and after. This is before and this is after. It's very nice. Now let's go back to the object mode. And now it's the time to create these legs. Let's see how can we create them. I think we can use the edges that we got right here. So maybe we can select, maybe the edges start from here and ends here, and we can pick those right here as well. All right, or I think we can select those here, I guess, and then hit P and then S to separate these out from the group. Tab out, and now let's focus on those right here. Click and grab this new edge. Tap to go to the edit mode, and now let's make some small tweaking, like grabbing these and extrude those up here like that, I guess, and maybe move those up G to the Z like that. And now you can select these edges and smooth this area just to get better result. Right click and use the loop tool and choose relax. That will relax it a little bit. All right, and for this area, I guess we can grab these two vertices and then hit Control Shift V just to bevel them to 3, I guess, like that. It will be very cool. And now we can give this a thickness after we push these vertices a little bit up, like that. All right, now let's hit right click and convert to curve, and let's go to the curve properties. Under the geometry, let's manipulate the depth a little bit to give it a thickness like that. All right, looks cool. Maybe now we can copy some vertices, for example those right here, and then hit Shift D and have a copy. All right, maybe from the top we can put it in the correct place. Hit G and let's put this, for example, right here, I guess. All right, let's do that again. Let's move this out a little bit. Or maybe we can select them all and move them out. But I don't know how much we should move those out. You can just move it, and after that you can check the result. Maybe just a little bit. Hit G to move, cancel the Z axis, hit Shift Z to cancel the Z, and take this out. And that's it, I guess. And now let's select this vertex. Maybe I can dissolve this vertex and dissolve this one and take this one out. G, and let's take this out just a little bit. Hit G to the Z, and let's move this down. And let's see if this result makes sense. You can go to the top and see if that's correct or not. All right, it's working. It's cool. All right, now we can manipulate the thickness a little bit more if you prefer. All right, 0.6, 0.7, I guess. All right, 0.7 looks cool. And I guess we can manipulate the resolution a little bit because we are going to add subdivision surface. The side edges are too much. Just reduce them, because if you add subdivision surface and if this number is high, we will end with a lot of vertices. After that, hit Control A, grab this piece, hit Control A and apply visual geometry to mesh. And now it's become mesh again. Tap to go to the edit mode in the wireframe, grab these vertices and move them up a little bit. And for these vertices right here, I guess we can grab them like that. And let's move these up just a little bit. And all right, let's go to the local mode so I can control this and focus on it. I will hit F to create a face here and then hit Ctrl B to add bevel like that. Let's make this area round. And this area as well, hit F, Ctrl B, and let's make this one round as well, like that. You can add one edge loop right here to support this area to make it tight, and this one as well. Add the support edge loop right here, just to get better smoothness. Right click, hit smooth. Alright, and now we just need to make some tweaks, like grabbing this and move it down to the ground, like that. Alright, and now I will add subdivision surface with level 1. You can hit Ctrl 1 and you can add it. If you are not satisfied with the thickness, you can tab, hit A, and then hit Alt S to inflate this a little bit. Right, the result looks cool. Now, all what we need to do is just have a copy on the other side. Alright, the origin dot of this piece is in the middle, I guess. I will put the 3D cursor in the middle after you select this this piece. And I think we can use this as a pivot point, and we can use mirror. So yeah, actually we can use mirror directly, mirror modifier. Hit Shift A to add, and let's add mirror. And yeah, I think that's it. Very cool. All right, now let's select this. All right, and I think we can put it in a specific collection. Before we put this in a collection, I just noticed something right here. Because we added an edge right here to tighten this area become very tight. So what I can do is I can select these edges like that and just hit G twice and slide them a little bit. And you can put this in the middle just to make this area a little bit smoother. Okay, something like that. And you can average these edges if you prefer, but that will take a little bit of time. You can hit Control Alt click to select this edge ring, and you can add those as well. And you can deselect the edges that we don't need from the back, for example. And now we ended with this result, as you can see. Alright, I guess this one we don't need to include it. And now after that you can hit right click and use the loop tool. Let's move this image away and let's choose space to fix the space between them. That will give us a smoother result. Alright. Go to the wireframe, select all of these pieces, and let's go to the local mode. And I just want to add an empty right here so I can control this chair in case I want to move it for any reason. So what I can do is, I guess we can select this edge loop or maybe this circle right here and bring the 3D cursor over here and add an empty in this area. And you can scale it a little bit, select everything, Alt Shift, and click on the empty just to make it active. And then we can hit Control B and set parent to object and keep transform. And now when you move the empty, everything will move with it. And let's select everything again, hit M, and let's create a new collection for this. And I guess we can call this round chair. You can call it whatever name you like. Hit enter twice. Hit slash to excite, and now we got it. All right. Very cool. All right. I think that's it for this video. I will end it here and see you in the next one.